this. Buddy, this is not going to be edited out. I mean...
Doing great. And by the way, you have
puppies.
You have, yeah, exactly.
Home, you're weary in your bones.
In 2002 or 2003, I was booking this place called Room 5 on La Brea here in Los Angeles. And I booked an artist named Sarah Bareilles. She showed up with a guy playing guitar and a guy pounding on a box and singing beautiful harmonies along. And that was Josh Day. We got to know each other in that scene, in the hotel cafe scene, just kind of being, on a bunch of bills together. And
I think after telling this story so many times, you've kind of convinced me that might have been the first time we met.
Come around.
But I remember meeting at
progress.
a hotel cafe. But one thing I do remember, I remember going to this Room 5 and meeting the sound guy who immediately I was like, this guy sucks.
We fired that guy.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it was you though. You were working that night.
You can't always trust first impressions. I think that's what it is. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, this is, and here we are.
Rise, yeah, you can be forgiven.
Being a troubadour is putting your heart and soul into what we do, and like there's no other option.
The lifestyle of the troubadour is that you do it because you have no choice. It's not about anything else, but that is the most sacred thing you can do, is to have this connection between the song and the audience and the other musicians on stage. At the end of the day, all the stuff you do, I always say there's 8 hours of work that has nothing to do with music that you do for every hour that you're on stage, and it's all made worth it by that 1 hour on stage. What's your favorite thing about being on the road, besides like hanging out with me?
That's probably my least favorite part. The best thing about being on the road is playing music. That's it. I mean, the rest of it, especially it can be challenging times.
I do like finding the best taco place or Thai food joint.
Well, it's funny because I know what we're going to eat for every meal,
which is good, because you can count on it. You're a creature of habit. You like this structure in your life. It helps keep you on the road, keep you between the mustard and the mayo.
There's somewhere in the desert.
Most memorable gigs for me have been in my hometown, have been in Wilkesboro. For many reasons, it's always great to go back home and the entire surroundings come out.
There's a little town outside of Cologne, Germany, Dabringhausen, and these people invited us to come and play a show. We had no idea what to expect. The whole town shows up. 300 people in this room, just packed to the gills. We start playing and they know the songs. The music has already made the journey over the ocean. Our mind is blown, the hair on our arms standing up on it.
We always gravitate towards Amsterdam. And the Dutch people, we've done a lot of work over there, and it's magical. It's kind of like a home away from home.
Man, they come over there and they treat us like family. It's like the Grateful Dead lyric. Sometimes you find the light in the strangest of places when you look at it right.
My best friend's sister.
We wrote Laughing with the Reckless, 7 of those 9 songs in December of 2014 after we had just played 30 shows. At that time, end of 2014, you're starting to see the divide in this country growing deeper. We were coping with those crises, in individual communities and as a nation was like terrifying. The record kicks off with Line Across the Water. It's looking at that divide and this darkness and trying to find commonalities to bring us together, seek out hope together. So that became this underlying thread.
On the storm and disorder.
My favorite track is Save a Place at the Table. My father passed away 15 years ago, actually today, 15 years ago today, and my mom wrote a poem called The Empty Chair that she gave to me right after he passed. I had it in my backpack for 13 years. Jay he brought in this song, and we're just trying to figure out, all of a sudden the light goes off, and I'm like, I think this is the moment.
I live in Vermont, right? And I lived in Los Angeles for 9 years. And one of the toughest things for me leaving Los Angeles was just leaving all these folks behind, the musical family.
We want to have this verse. I want to have this verse from my dad's perspective, talking to my mom, and let her know that everything's going to be okay. All of a sudden, it was just like the perfect piece of the puzzle that fit. It means so much to me. It is an emotional song, and it's an emotional song every time we play it. But it's also a hopeful song. It's cool to me that folks are getting that connection as well. Today, it's all coming full circle, which is
crazy.
Yeah.
I hope you know I never meant to cause you pain.
The beauty of having studios in both places, we can go to this, kind of rural retreat where there's no distraction, either record the songs or write the songs, and then, it goes back to Nashville and you have this, wealth of incredible musicians with a high-speed internet connection. It's like, I can record something, I'm like, it's almost there. I did it to a loop and it's close, but I need a real drummer, and then, send it to him.
And what he means by drummer, I think you meant musician. I need a real musician. That's kind of
a drumming musician. Yeah, that's what I mean. If the track is like done to a drum loop, and then you kind of come in and play like real drums, and that's the thing that makes
So
it.
you play real drum?
I don't. I have a light touch.
Oh.
No.
That's not true.
Yeah.
You're like an elephant, just stomping all over the drums. Maybe I'm more like a gorilla.
I'll take it.
Kind of abandon that you had.
My house is a pretty good spot for inspiration. I live in a 220-year-old farmhouse that's full of good ghosts. Not to sound like a crazy person.
You do have ghosts in your house.
But
I've seen it.
I mean,
when I'm home, when I'm back in the mountains in North Carolina, that's always a special place, and and I think that has a lot to do with I kind of hold on to those creative juices that grab me there. I don't have a specific place, but I usually will go somewhere in my mind. Oddly enough, growing up in the foothills in North Carolina, I grew up not far from where Doc Watson lived. That music became inspiring for me. I used to go see him Tuesday nights when I was in college at a place called Thompson Seafood, which was literally a double wide trailer, eat popcorn shrimp and watch Doc Watson for free. That's just what you do.
When I first started playing music and getting kind of deep into it, my biggest influences were the Grateful Dead. My mom and dad, they took 90-minute tapes and they would back up their record collection. One side had Cat Stevens' Greatest Hits, and the other side had Grateful Dead, the Skull and Roses live thing. And that Grateful Dead record was the thing that made me feel like there was something bigger out there. I heard this and I was like, oh my God, magic. There's magic in the world, and this is what the thing that connects us all together. I don't know what it is about old guitars, but I feel like they've got songs in them. And even I have this 1960 LGO, it's a student model guitar, it was like $25 when it came out. And I bet I've written 100 songs on it. The guitar that I play live, I can never write a song on it, so.
I have a lot of old vintage drums that I love, and one snare drum that I use a lot in recordings, and it's probably my one piece of gear that I cherish. I'm one of those kind of weirdos that likes weird sounds. Little tambourines to shakers to
Goat's toenails.
Goat's nails.
He's got a collection of goat's toenails.
This is true. Coming back from my honeymoon in the Cancun airport, and I see this little Jake and the Neverland Pirates tambourine with 3 jingles on it, and I pick it up and I'm like, babe, I'm looking at my wife, I'm like, I gotta have it. She's like,
She's like, you can have it, it's $3.50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be a musician. It's really tough life, don't do it. No,
That's funny, because so many people told me that.
I came from a supportive family, and my parents were always like, do it. You go to school, do your thing. Always had the dream to play music for a living, and they never really tried to sway me from it. You gotta give it to them. They're like, just go for it.
The two things that I've kind of figured out along the way in this, you know, kind of wild ride of making music for 20 years, is to tell the truth always, and to surround yourself with people that inspire you. You know, you get that, and you surround yourself with a bunch of musicians and great people that inspire you, you're going to do your best work and, you know, probably make a halfway decent record.
We got you guys to say hazardous to small children, so we're just...
Yeah, we are hazardous.
Our record is hazardous to small children.